See, sometimes we may say, how do I leave this worldly lifestyle? We may say, how do I leave listening to worldly music? How do I leave these certain things that truly I really seem to enjoy? How do I leave drinking? How do I leave smoking weed? How do I leave these certain things? And why is it that I'm really attached to these things? Why is it that I seem to not be able to let go of these things even though I'm walking a Christian walk? See, we're never going to be perfect. I'm not saying, oh yeah, we have the free will to just do whatever we want. But I'm saying that in reality, the real reason why we still fall into these flaws that we make at times is because we aren't loving Jesus the way we should be loving. We aren't loving him. We're just saying it in words, but in reality, the thing is, in our action, we truly aren't loving Jesus. And there's a lot of us that are just saying these words, but in reality, when it comes to action, we truly aren't. Because if we love Jesus, if we love God, we'll be reading our Bible. If we love God, we will be worshiping. If we love God, we will be having a conversation with God. See, I remember when I first walked into this, I was telling God, I don't know what to expect. I really enjoy worldly music. I really enjoy smoking weed. I really enjoy all these things. And I don't know how to leave these things. I really like these things. I remember just giving up to God and saying, I may not know how it's going to look like. I was thinking that, maybe I'll smoke weed once a month. I was just having these thoughts in my mind, but once I walked, I said, all I have to do is just love God all the way. And once I started loving God, my mindset started changing. The things that I started to see as something that it was okay, that I felt like I couldn't leave, I started to have no desire towards drinking, no desire towards smoking, no desire towards all these things that I was doing. And see, that's what we need to fight for, to love God. I remember I was listening to this song in prayer night in worship after I was praying, and I remember just hearing this part where it just stayed to my mind, I want to know you more than I know you. There are a lot of us that know God, but not all of us are truly walking in action, loving God. And see, you probably are right there living a lukewarm Christianity, not truly putting your love in action with God. And see, God isn't going to hate you for what you've done in your past, for not loving him the way that you should be loving him. But I think it's time that you just step up your cross and recognize and realize, like, I need to love God. And God sees you, and as long as you repent and you're just like, God, I may not know how I'm going to be able to love you more, but I think I need to love you more, you will start to see your mindset change differently. But just love God. We need to love God. Because from us loving God, we start to live a lifestyle of holiness. There might be people who will ask us, why are you trying to be perfect? Why are you not doing these things? But in reality, if they only knew, I'm like this because once I started growing a love for God, these things I have no desire towards. I have no desire towards being like the world. Because I just want to love God, and whatever God puts in my mind, I want to be obedient and chase. I don't want things from the enemy. I don't want alcohol, I don't want weed, I don't want all these things. And see, I'm not here to judge you or condemn you to hell. But in reality, what if we end up dying, loving the world, and just saying that we love God in words, but in our action not truly loving? What will happen in the moment if we die and we don't repent, and we end up in a place called hell where we're tormented? I can just imagine every day probably we'll repeat in our mind, why didn't I listen to the word that my pastor was telling me? Why didn't I listen to the word that my friend was telling me? Why didn't I listen to the word that my brother, sister, or whoever it is, why wasn't I listening to those words? Right now we're able to click the restart button and truly love God.